with Clark Atlanta University versus Lane College. Clark Atlanta leads Lane College 17-7 at the half. Clark Atlanta comes into the second half with a total of 183 passing yards to Lane College's 53 passing yards. Clark Atlanta's passing game has been very, very good this first half. Jonathan McCrary went 11 for 19 with one interception and 2 touchdowns for 183 yards. Welcome back.
Hey, I'm back now. Coach Ogden had to tell me something. It was kind of important. Built my ego up a little bit.
Made you feel good.
Hey, we appreciate all who are watching us live. And if you know others who would like to be watching live, go ahead and we flash the links up every once in a while here on the screen. If you would just pass the word, we're here every week, hopefully. As long as we don't have a technical difficulty, we're here live every week for home games. We've got 4 left after today. Next
3
week,
left after today.
4. There's 5. There's 5 total home games. Yeah. 5 home, 5 road. Yeah. You got 3 in a row, and then we go back on the road, and then we come back home. We've got Tuskegee next week.
And then we got Kentucky State.
Yeah.
There they go.
Here we go right here. We got Clark Atlanta today. Then we have Tuskegee. Then we got Langston. Then we have Kentucky State on October 28th. And I'm pretty sure
that's a 2-game a 1-game road
right,
trip.
Right, 1-game road trip. And then you go on the road for 2 games. So we're here for 3. We go on the road for 2. And then we have Kentucky State. And then there's one more. And I can't remember who it is against. But I know there is a game in November. But anyway, we go through the stats here. You know, the first quarter was all Lane pretty much as far as stats went. The second quarter
was all Central State.
All Clark Atlanta.
Clark Atlanta. Yeah, McCurry had a good first half, going 183 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had that 1 interception at the end of the second quarter, towards halftime. It was a bit of a momentum boost.
It was. It gave Lane the ability. They didn't score on that drive, which when you get a turnover, that's what you're hoping is you score. Now look on here and look at the penalty yards. On 4 penalties against Clark Atlanta for 102 yards, and Lane with 3 for 38. And then you look at the time of possession, it's pretty even.
Yeah, it's pretty
Lane
even.
About 15 more seconds than Clark Atlanta. So, you know, it's a pretty even football game other than the scoreboard. The difference in the game is the quarterback play in the passing game, 11 for 19 for 183 yards, where Lane is 6 of 12 for only 53 yards. So
yeah, the passing game has to get better. It's just a lot of miscues with their offensive line. And
there's just some little tweaks that Lane needs to make, and that's what halftime's all about, is the adjustments and the ability to make the adjustment to shut down what was working so well for the team in the first half.
Yeah, because the first 2 touchdowns that Clark had was in the middle of the field passing, and it seems that
it was the same route both times. The guy number 9 there, Rodney Morris, he just cut straight to the middle of the field, and no one is in that zone, in the zone coverage, and you know, you break down that zone, and it makes a big difference for your football team.
Yeah, it seemed like they tried to run the same play at the end of the second half, and it got intercepted. So.
Yes, on the interception, that may have been the play they were running, but then they ran it and scored the touchdown right as they, to close out that first half. Now Lane is going to get the football first here in the second half, so you hope to see some change, a little bit of change, a little more motivation maybe is the best way to put it for the Dragons, as both teams are about ready to go. And we've got a minute left. let's take one more break and let them run some promo, a couple of commercials here, and we'll be back in 1 minute with the second half.
Come on a journey with us to a world connecting you to your college. With a world that is changing at a rapid pace and is technology-driven, the Mass Communication Department provides valuable news and information to the public, providing commentary, entertaining through film, radio, television. You can count on the Mass Communications Dragons to keep you on your toes and in the know of the latest activities going on campus, on all social sites. WLCD, the voice of the Dragons.
La música de Harry Fraud.
And we welcome you back. I'm Ray Pack along with
Justin Robinson.
And Justin and I are going to be happy to bring you the second half as Saldana, Carlos Saldana, excuse me, it's probably Saldana,
Probably saying
Spanish sounding name there, Saldana. He's going to tee it up. He's going to go back to Badarius Trujillo, and I think that's number 82 on the far side again. And that will be Trayvon Taylor, and the ball's up. It looks like Taylor's going to field this one at about the 1. He's across the 10 to the 15, 20, 25.
tripped up at the 20.
It's going to be taken down at the 26. So Lane will have their first offensive possession here in the second half, 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Let's see if they went and made any offensive adjustments.
And it looks like Mr. Rubin is going to come back out, and it's the quarterback position.
to start the second.
Starts second half. Had quite a bit of success with Marcus Reynolds out there. He made some plays on his feet. Looking down here, he had 5 carries for 50 yards. Then he lost that 11 on the sack, so has a net of 39. But still, 50 yards on 5 carries. That's not
That's
bad.
nice. Averaging 8 yards.
Right, basically 8 yards if you take that 11-yard sack off. And I hate that sack comes off of your rushing yardage. I wish there was another way to stat that sack. And Rubin looking to throw. He throws, and he throws way over Grigsby's head. That string's been driving me nuts all day off that light bulb.
Yeah, I see it. See if we can get it hung up here.
Unfortunately, we don't need lights because all of our games are at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And the snap, the handoff, nothing there, so it's going to be second down. And it's going to be 3rd down and 10. Excuse me. Have a really good crowd on hand today. This is the most people I've seen at Lane Stadium in all the games that I have done. Really, really nice looking crowd.
This is a really nice looking crowd.
I think that the staff and the school has done some things to encourage students and even community participation. And there is a completed pass to number 88.
That Aaron Thomas.
And so now
Big
you got
tight
the
end.
first down. Nice job by Aaron Thomas.
Aaron's a big tight end.
He is a big fella.
And if I'm not mistaken, he also plays basketball.
Yes.
He's also on the basketball team, so he's a good tight end coming in at 6'3", 205 pounds.
Again, another quick hitter this time to Ahmad Isaac, and he's up. He's across the 50, so a 7-yard gain right there, or excuse me, a 6-yard gain.
Like they rushing to the line.
And Lane has had success when they are doing the hurry-up offense right here, not giving Clark Atlanta much time to substitute. If they'd hurry up and snap, they'd have 12 men on the field. That time they didn't quite hurry enough. Reuben, again, another wide receiver screen. This time it's still Mari
Oh.
Hampton, and he's got a first down as he's inside over there inside Clark Atlanta territory, and he's going to be down at about the 39-yard line, and a Clark Atlanta player down. As the player for Clark Atlanta is up, and that's number 4 for Clark Atlanta, Harding Harper.
Harding Harper. That's a great name.
That is a great name.
Can't never get your name wrong. Harding Harper. Har.
You got that? I think that one there we'll have down for a while. And so the Dragon offense goes out after their little huddle. Little encouragement from the sideline. As Reuben is going to lead them back out, you've got Holiday in the backfield. And on the far side, you have Hampton and Thomas. On the near side, you have Grigsby and Isaac as your wide receivers. And there you go. Clark Atlanta that time crowded the line of scrimmage, and a great call by Reuben to go and give the ball off to Marcus Holiday, and he's going to get down inside the 35 to about the 32-yard line. So it's going to be about a 6-yard gain, almost 7. So we're going to call it 2nd and 4.
Yeah, that was a good rush. He could have had a little more if he could have bounced it out to the outside just a little bit, but he cut in.
I think he saw the inside as the opening, and he went that way, and the defender got there just at the same time. And this time, Hill with the carry. He's inside the 30. He'll have a first down. Nice job here by the lane as they're moving the ball effectively.
Oh, we have another player down.
And he's got to go out for a play. He lost his helmet, so he's got to. And he got banged a little bit.
Number 1. Victor's lifting off the field.
The PA announcer's doing a pretty good job down there. Mr. Mike Coburn getting the crowd involved in our football game. This is his first year doing PA for the Dragons. Had the pleasure of working with him out at the ballpark at Jackson with the Jackson Generals. He was the PA man there, the voice of the stadium. And that's got to be an offside.
Free play.
You're right. That was offside. There's no doubt because they were through in a heartbeat. I don't know how far he got, but let's see where they would mark it at. He got almost to the 20. Not sure if I would take the penalty or if I would rather see a second down and about 2 or 3. That's going to take and be 1st and 5. So the ball's going to move down. The ball's going to be spotted at the 20.
Did you see what the ref just
23.
did?
No, I didn't see.
The ref had actually went the wrong way.
Oh, he pointed the wrong direction?
No, he had counted off 5 going back instead of 5 going forward.
That's not good. All right, so 1st and 5 for the Dragons at the 23-yard line. 11:48, and the clock is ticking. Reuben's got him. And
interception.
And everybody's wanting an interference call. Oh, there is a flag on the play. And we are hoping this is offsides.
Interception. That was a good drive.
That was, and it's sad that it an interception. And if you look down where that took place, your receiver got bumped off his route way before the ball got there. Everybody on the lane sideline was wanting a pass interference. So now you put it in your defense's hand, and they've played halfway. They played a pretty decent game thus
Yeah,
far.
this
They gave up a couple of big plays.
Yeah, and I had the conversations I had with Coach Derek Burrows. He have said the defense has spent a lot of time on the field.
They have. And that will wear you down when you get to that fourth quarter.
Yes, it will, because you just constantly playing.
And so McCrary under center. Hand off to Thomas, number 22. Nothing there for him. He's going to get back to the original line of scrimmage, so it'll be 2nd and 10. So 2nd and 10. Now you have number 25 in the backfield, Langford. Lined up next to McCrary. Hand off to Langford. He finds a hole to the outside. Got plenty of running room. Got a block. Cuts back inside. He gets out across the 35 to the 36 for a first down, Clark Atlanta.
Big holes. That was a nice hole. He hit it, and he kept on going.
Well, he made it and bounced it to the outside where the block was, and his receiver did a nice job getting him an extra 3 or 4 yards with the block out here on the sideline.
Yeah, when you have good blocking receivers, that helps the run game a lot.
And you got a timeout for the Dragons. Let's take one with them. It's a 17-7 our score. We got 10:37 left here in the third quarter. We'll be right back with more Dragon football.
And Lady Howard would like to thank Rockin' Boat Pizza for being the official pizza of the Dragon. Yes, sir. Rockin' Boat Pizza will be giving away one large pizza at every home football game. So please make sure you register to get your chance to win at the front entrance to the stadium by the end of the third quarter. Weekly winners will be announced at some point during the fourth quarter.
And so welcome back. Now then it's 1st and 10 at the 36. Again, McCrary hands off. Same exact play. This time not much there. He crosses the 36, maybe to the 37. And that's Langford again. He's been their workhorse today. Let me look at the stats here. Langford rushing had 11 rushes in the first half for 48 yards, so he was their leading rusher.
Averaging 4 yards a carry.
So they do give him a yard, so it's 2nd and 9. He stays out on the field in the backfield as you've got 2 receivers each way. They need to keep an eye on there on number 9, Rodney Morris. He's the one that has hurt them the most in that crossing route in the center of the field. Now they change their formation. Now we're going to try the same play. The other side, no, he then that time he cuts it back to the inside and picks up about 6, so it's going to bring up 3rd down and 3. And again, another good run by Jaquan Langford. Now we'll see what the Dragons are made of. You got 3rd and 3, a big play right here for the Dragons.
Big-time players make big-time plays. Right here, this right here.
I'm gonna be hearing that in my sleep tonight.
this play right here can change the momentum of this entire game.
That's exactly right. That's why I say it's a big 3rd down. If the Dragons can get off the field right here on 3rd down. Back to pass, McCrary. And
that was a late flag.
You had the flag from the back judge when the man right here in the center did not throw the flag. And he was the closest one to it and saw everything that went on. So it's going to be a 15-yard penalty. It'll be a 1st down.
Mental mistakes.
It will be, and I think both the receiver and the defender were fighting with hands, and just happened to be the Dragons got caught last doing it. And so it'll be 1st and 10 at the lane 42-yard line. Clark Atlanta moving the football. 8:59. The clock stopped. We'll start when the snap is made, and the ball's on the ground, and quarterback just falls on it, and he'll take a 6-yard loss.
Muff the snap.
You know, when you think about what the quarterback's doing in the center, there has to be such a level of trust between them on that little snap to the shotgun formation.
Yep, it has to be.
Again, back to pass, looking across the middle, and that time the pass, the same pass they've scored 2 touchdowns on, was broken up, and that was broken up by. Now I have Nick Gray, so it's not Nick Gray. It's
Gabriel
Scott. Number 21. That's number 24 is the one I had a different name, and you had Nesbitt, and I had Gray on mine. So I'll have to update my roster. Again, looking to pass. This time the pressure's there, and that will be a sack because he lost a yard. A good job there by the initial surge with a blitz package in, and that time, guess who makes the play? That play is made by Rockham Nesbitt. So 4th down.
Big 3rd down stop.
That was a good
Dragons.
stop for the Dragons right there. And the best play on that was the batted ball right there at midfield, at the middle of the field.
Yeah,
on that pass play, yes.
On the play that they've been scoring on right there.
And so here's the punt. He gets it off. Fair catch at the 12-yard line by Ahmad Isaac. And let's see who's going to go out on the field this time. Looks like it's going to be Rubin again going out as the leader of the offense. There you can see a few folks in our crowd today. And now back to the field for action.
This is a pretty full house today for these Dragons.
For an opening day, as hot as it is, it's a really good crowd. Now, the Dragons have 7:40 left here in the 3rd quarter. It would be nice to put together a sustained drive for them in order to score right here. Handoff, Holiday. Straight up the middle, still on his feet. He's going to get out to the 15-yard line, so it's going to be a pickup of 3 for Holiday. And again, Rubin in a pistol formation. Holiday flanking behind him. Now he comes up next to him. Fake handoff. And that time he threw it right in his arms.
Touchdown,
and
Panthers.
A pick 6 for the Panthers. A 15-yard pick 6. That's number 1 right there. Jaqueen Victrum. And he had his man wide open, but Victrum just cut right in, had it well defended. So now it is 23-7 Clark Atlanta. And that's 2 drives in a row, 2 interceptions for Mr. Rubin. So we're going to wait for the extra point. Saldana. And you got the hold there, number 7, Blow, Deshaun Blow. There's the kick. Ball's down. It's up. And I believe that's good, isn't it? Yes, it is. As that ball goes over on the front porch of the house across the street. So with 7:02 left, it's 24-7 Clark Atlanta. The first quarter was really even, but it's been all Clark Atlanta since then.
All Clark. And it's a few mental mistakes. It's not like.
Yeah, but a few mental mistakes adds up to a lot of mental mistakes.
It does.
And so one you might get overcome, but if you keep making 2, 3, 4 or even 5 mental mistakes,
Right.
it's tough to overcome those types of mistakes as a young football club.
Yeah, this football club is very young. They got 10. They do have 10 starters back on offense though.
Yeah, and so you have Sims back, and you also have Taylor are back. And so Saldana has it teed up. Here we go. Kicks in the air, little rotating action side to side on the ball. That's Taylor. He's at the 20. He tries to jump back and get some extra yardage, but he's going to be brought down at the 23-yard line. So Lane now, 1st and 10. Right here, you need an answer. You need an answer right here of some type. You've got to put some points on the board. And so this time it looks like Marcus Reynolds is going to be going out on the field to the quarterback position. We'll see what he can do here. He had a real effective first half. Reynolds did.
50 yards.
50
on
yards, yeah.
five carries.
And he gives you a little more versatility to me with his ability to run the football.
Yeah, and he's a left-handed quarterback.
Last year his accuracy wasn't quite where it needed to be. Looks like he's worked on that and has been pretty close. Okay, the handoff. Nope, he's going to keep it. Steps out. Crosses the 25. It's going to step out of bounds at about the 27. So we're going to give him 4 yards on that. That'll be 2nd down and 6. And we see trips coming to the left. Hampton, your lone receiver on the far side. Down here you've got, I believe you got Isaac Grigsby. And that time to hand off to Holiday straight up the middle. He gets to the 30, so it'll bring up 3rd down and 3. That's a nice run, about 5 yards. So I'm trying to figure out who else we had. Yeah, we had 81 out here. Quintavious Wilson. I don't know that we've seen Wilson too much in the game today. As 3rd and 3 for the Dragons. Reynolds, Holiday in the backfield. There's the snap, hand off to Marcus Reynolds, or Marcus Holiday, and he's going to be right at the 1st down stick. He may be about a half a yard short. Let's see where they spot the ball. It's going to be close. I would think you're going to see a measurement right here.
Yeah, that's what that.
It's just so close.
Official timeout.
And let's see, they're backing the players away from the football as they'll bring the chains in from the far side. And it's going to be, it's going to be closer than you and I think. Let's see, the camera's moved off of it. There we go. Now they've stretched it out.
1st down.
And it's going to be fourth down and about 3 inches. And I think you go for it right here. Coach Burrows needs to do something to fire his team up. I think you go for it right here. You either put Reynolds under center and let him take the handoff and just surge forward, or you give it to Holiday and let him try to just gut it up the middle. Be interesting to see what they do right here. Either one of those two guys can do it with their feet.
They can, but they should go right behind the center, Howard Bush, and get this 1st down and keep this drive going.
And Reynolds does go under center. They've stacked the middle. They're going to surge right here. This might be one and offsides. And the reason they stopped the play is because he touched the lane. The lane offensive player was touched. Otherwise, it would have been a free play.
Yep, and he would have scored on that free play.
So a nice job by Reynolds with a little bit of a hard count right there. Drew the defensive tackle offsides.
Drew a couple of the Panther defenders offsides.
So first down and 10 for the Dragons at the 38-yard line. Their own 38-yard line. And this time Reynolds pulls the ball back, and he's going to get a yard. So second down and 9 will be where we're at. As they're going to send trips to the far side, to the right side of the formation.
Holiday seemed a little frustrated on that last play.
Yeah, I think if he'd have given it you talk about Holiday was frustrated. I think if he'd have got the ball, he probably would have had some. And there's another
Offsides, free
penalty,
play.
offsides, free play.
Pass interference, and he
Hey.
caught the ball. Pass
And
interference as well. So that's 2 plays, 2 penalties on this play. There's a pass interference from number 20 and an offsides on his defensive line.
so on that play, Reynolds did a great job recognizing it was going to be a free play
And getting it out
and
of
then
there.
getting it out and the receiver down. And I thought he caught the ball, or did it pop out there at the last minute?
I thought he caught it as well. That's 2 penalties.
So let's see what the call will be.
Defense.
It declined. Pass interference. That'll be a 15-yard penalty, and it'll be an automatic first down. And it'll
Is
put
it
the-
going to be a 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul?
No, it's a 15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage, which I don't like spot fouls. I'm not a big fan of putting the ball where it is. The penalty to me should go from the original line of scrimmage. So it's first and 10 for the Dragons, and they are inside Clark Atlanta territory at the 46. This time Reynolds keeps, and nothing there as he faked his handoff to Holiday. And he lost 4 yards, so it'll be second and 14.
A lot of the Dragon players have the red cleats on with the gold bottoms.
I didn't notice the gold bottoms. I just noticed most all of them had red cleats on.
Yeah,
And
the
so
top, the receivers and the trips all have on red cleats with the gold bottom, as well as
nice pick completed pass to Isaac. He is down to the 44-yard line, so that'll be a pickup of 6, but it's still going to be a third down and long. We're going to call it 3rd and 8. Now, they marked it at the 34 instead of 33, so we'll still call it 3rd and 8. Almost 9. Yeah, let's see what the offense can do here, faced with a critical 3rd down, as the clock ticks down to 2:58. Reynolds is looking. Nothing there. He's going to keep it with his feet. He makes a cut to the outside. He's got a block.
first down.
And he got a first down. I do believe he stepped out just at the sticks.
Way to get to the sticks.
He got there, first down. Nice job by Reynolds recognizing the coverage downfield and reversing his field and picking up a great block by his receiver out on the far side. That was number 81 with the key block, Quintavious Wilson, who now is coming to the near side. And you're going to put Hampton in the slot. So you got Grigsby up top. You got 2 running backs. You got Hill and Holiday. Now we're going to go to an offset eye right here. And your offset eye, Reynolds takes the snap, hands it to Holiday. Holiday cuts it back. He's still on his feet.
Good
He's
second
inside the 30.
effort.
And that second effort netted him about 3 extra yards. So he's going to be down at the 28-yard line. So that's a gain of, let's see, we'll say 6, maybe 7.
The Dragons are back in the Panthers' territory. Let's see if they
Yeah,
can.
they need something right here. Here's where their drives they've worked the ball down here several times, but their drives have seemed to stall at this point.
Shorter field. A little less pressure on the defensive side of the ball.
Makes it a
With
little
the
more
short-
makes it a little more difficult to throw the ball.
With the play calling.
And that time the fake was to Holiday. He'd have been hit for about a 5-yard loss, so Reynolds did the next best thing and took a loss of about a yard. So it'll bring up 3rd and 4. As you're going to see Grigsby to the far side. Hampton. Wilson to the near side. Again, 2 backs. Hill's got to lay a block. He does. And Reynolds falls inside the 20 for a first down. That's a nice run and a great lead
is.
block by Justin D. Hill.
Hill is a great fullback.
And that's his job. His job is to open a hole. And so now we're in the red zone. Changing the play on the field. As Wilson stacks, double stack, and a pass. And another pick.
Interception.
And he left it a little short because he got hit as he threw. And that's where your receiver, Hampton, has got to go and knock that ball away. He's got to turn into a defender, not the receiver anymore. So Clark Atlanta stalls another drive at the 3-yard line with 21 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. Lane trails 24-7. And that's one of those ones that you wish you had back. Because you had worked so hard to get the ball down the field. And then next thing you know, it's an interception.
That's 3 times in a row.
Yeah, that's 3 drives in a row. You're right. You are right. That's 3
drives in a row. We
that
have ended on an interception.
ended on an interception.
1 for a pick 6.
And I think you're going to get offsides. You may get illegal procedure. I'm not sure what you're going to get here. One official threw the flag one way and the other one threw it the other way. Typically, I say typically, you can tell if it's an offside or a procedure by what side of the ball they throw it on. If they throw it on the offensive side, normally it's a procedure. And it's a procedure call. And if you throw it to the defensive side, it's usually offside. That's how you can generally tell. They don't always do it, but that's the general rule that an official is told, so you will know what it is. So they back the ball up.
This can be a big defensive stand for the Dragons right here. This could be a big booster.
Well, if you could pin them down and keep them down there and force them to punt, you flip the field position back to your favor, and then you have an opportunity to work with a short field again. So they're going to pick up. We got another penalty here. I see the official standing looking. Oh, they're going to go to the 4th quarter. They're not even going to run a play. And so it's going to be 2nd down and 11 as we get ready to go to the 4th quarter. The Dragons have a lot of work to do if they're going to win this football game. They're down 24-7 to the Clark Atlanta University Panthers. We will be back in 1 minute with more Dragon football.
That is the end of the 3rd quarter. Our score is Panthers 24, Dragons 7.
Well, you give up one score, but you throw 2 picks on your 2 possessions.
You give up one score, but you throw 3 picks and 3 back-to-back on this. That's a big thing. Then one of them was taken to a pick 6. He threw that right here. You can't give up stuff like that. Yep, that's 3 for
And we welcome you back to the fourth quarter as we get ready to go. It's 2nd down and 9 for Clark Atlanta. I'll give you a recap of some stats here in just a moment. Hand off to number 22, and he's still on his feet, and he's going to get to the 4-yard line. It's going to make it 3rd down and about 8 there. In the third quarter, Justin, in the third quarter, Lane did a pretty good job defensively. They held Clark Atlanta to 41 yards total offense, and they themselves had 98 total yards. So that quarter, Lane moved the ball, but the 2 interceptions killed them on those 2 drives.
They did. They did 2 big interceptions that was down deep in their opponent's territory, and all they had to do was punch the ball in. And
that's it.
But the Panthers defense stopped it. Had a good defensive stand. Make this a more
you're probably
difficult
wondering
game.
what I'm doing with those stat sheets. I take those home and then I'll compile them up. And so again, and now it's going to be 4th down and about 5 as number 22 again there, Roger Thomas with the carry, and on that carry extra effort got him a little extra yard. So a good stand by the defense to pin and hold Clark Atlanta deep in their own territory. Now we hope for a flip of the field position on what we got, as Ahmad Isaac is counting the Dragons on the field, making sure there's not more than 11. That's a great job by him, his awareness there to be able to do that.
The special teams has been close to making big plays.
Oh,
Let's see if they can make a big play right here.
And I think we're gonna. Let's see. I don't know. I think Lane may have jumped off sides right there. Let's see what the call is. This is a big one. It could be an offsides. And they're going to go false start on the offense.
On the offense.
Boy, the Dragons caught a break right there. Big break right there for the Dragons. And so instead of a 4th and 4, 4th and 5, it's now back to 4th and 9. So that would have given the Panthers an automatic first down right there. Or it would have given them a first down if they had been went the other way. So now you got your punter standing close to the back of his end zone. Of course, he's a rugby-style punter. Now he's going to punt straight up. It's going to be a short punt. Isaac with the fair catch at the 30. Let's see if they mark it at the 39 or the 38. And they're going to mark it at the 39, and the field judge is marking it a little bit further up. Let's see if he'll step in. Now, if they're going to mark it at 39, but still good field position for the Dragons. And you got to. This is where you have to take advantage.
You got a counter right here
of the Dragons. You got to take advantage of the punt right there, the short field. If you are Lane over, you got to use what Clark Atlanta gave you. That probably is the best way to put that.
What the defense of the Dragons has
they have
laid
done
out.
their part, except on two plays maybe. And now you have Holiday cutting to the outside. He's
There's
in.
a
He
flag
steps
on a
out of
play.
bounds at the
about
30. And we're probably going to get a hold or a block in the back on Lane. And they call it a hold. And so it'll be first down. So a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul on that hold. And that'll back it up to the back in Lane territory. No, excuse me, it'll still be in Clark Atlanta's territory. It'll be first and about 19 now for the Dragons.
Marcus Reynolds is still
in the game, and
quarterback.
he's got room to run, but he finds a receiver. Nice job right there on the sideline. Good catch by
First
Amari
down
Hampton,
by
first
Amari
down.
Hampton.
As the pass is inside the 25, down around the 22-yard line.
The Dragons are not out of this game at all.
Oh no, they've
This-
got time. They
They
just
got-
need to be effective in running their offense, as there's still 12 minutes and 49 seconds left.
Because as you can see, the defense can stop this Panthers.
Yes,
Um,
and they've proven they can stop them. And the handoff to Holiday, he's up the middle, and he's going to get down close to the 20-yard line. We'll say he gained 3 yards on that.
yeah, they've proven they can stop them on multiple occasions. It's just that by them being in the field so much, that's what gave up the
What?
scores
Yeah, you,
early in the
if your
first
defense
half.
if your defense is on the field too much, and we have a Clark Atlanta player down, and now he's up, he's going to go off under his own power. But if they stop the clock for him, he'll have to go out of the game.
The Dragons defense has done an excellent job this half, only not giving up a score at all.
Exactly.
The only score that
Well, the score came off with the pick six.
Yeah, the pick
It was a
six.
pick six. So the defense has done their job here in the second half. As the officials call for the play to start, and they start the play clock. So it's second down, and so we're going to say 8. I'm going to call it 8. Someone might say 7, but I'll say 8. As Reynolds looks, he just throws it up in the air, and another interception. That's 4 on the day.
4 interceptions this second half, and he's still up. Number 10 is still up.
And a flag comes in. We're going to get a block in the back. And frustration setting in a little bit for some of the Dragons right here, as there was a little bit of extracurricular activity. That's 4 interceptions. You're not going to win many games throwing 4 interceptions.
That's
And that
4
time-
drives, 4 interceptions. That's all this half.
And then that one right there, he threw off the back foot. Never had anything really on it. He was just hoping to avoid a sack.
Final score, West Georgia 48, Albany State 16.
Is
Final score, Fort Valley State 31, Benedict 21, double overtime.
That's 4 interceptions, man. Hey, come on, guys. Y'all. This is no excuse.
You call it. I gotta see what this phone call is.
McCray in the shotgun. Pass out to number 25. Good defensive hold by this Dragons D line. He gets about a good 2-3 yards on the carry. The gain of 3 from Jawan Langford, number 25. They're back with trips left. Trips left. Single back. Shotgun.
I have it next week. Yeah, I have it next week. Galen and I will have it the next week.
He gives it off to the running back again. Up, and he breaks for a big gain.
Well, I know.
For a first down and more.
Glad she seems to be doing well.
Can't win a game, man. You throw 5 interceptions.
Right. Very, very good. Very good. Okay, well, I'm out at Lane Lane Field watching calling a football game. Well, helping call a football game. I'm letting my partner do it right now. So I'll holler at you later. Okay, bye bye.
Back with the same formation. Trips left. 1 high. 1 in the back with the quarterback. He's still up. I thought it was down right there.
It
I-
sure looked like he
I
was
thought he
down
was
by
down-
contact. It sure looked like he was
down
down
by
by
contact.
contact, but we do
After
have a
that hit.
flag. You do have a flag. Yeah, I thought he was down too, Justin. It looked like he hit him and he fell on top, and that's down by contact, so that means he would be down. Let's see what the penalty is.
Personal foul. On the defense, number 24. Hand to the face, 15 yards, be added to the end of the run.
Personal foul
On
on the
24.
defense. Hand to the helmet, and you know it. You hate to say this, but that's just frustration. That's just frustration that things have not gone the way you wanted them to go today. But what you do now is you play the rest of this game and you finish it out and you hit practice next week and you come back next week and you play hard and you adjust and you figure out some things that you need to work on. And I'm sure that when Coach Burrows and his staff, when they are able to watch the film of this game, they're going to see some things that were off and try to make those adjustments. That's what you're trying to do right now. You're trying to make adjustments. I realize this is a conference game.
Yeah, they big thing is the interceptions.
And there's the running back again, and he is down inside the 5, and he's going to be almost at about the 2-yard line. So Clark Atlanta with the opportunity to score here. We've got 9.5 minutes left. And if Clark Atlanta scores, this will be the first drive of the second half. The defense has allowed a score. And Clark Atlanta is going to take a timeout. Let's take one right here with them, too. We got a couple of minutes to spare. We'll, with our score 24-7, 9:19 left here in the first. And in the football game, you're watching Lane Dragon football.
Was there any touchdowns in that first half? I mean, any interceptions? In the third quarter? No, in the first half. In the first half? Yeah. Yeah, you had 3. You had. The bottom, it tells you what quarter they're in. If there's blank, it's the same quarter.
As we come back to live action, Clark Atlanta under center, hand off to number 17, and he crosses into the goal line. Touchdown, Clark Atlanta. That will make it 30-7. Clark Atlanta. Hopefully, as you were watching, you saw all the different ways that you could follow the Dragons. Not only the Dragon Athletics, but also the mass media or mass communications group. They have their own Facebook page and such. And speaking of, this game will be archived and will be available on the Facebook page later on in the week. You can go back and watch it again if you so choose. Also, if you know of someone who may have missed it that lives in the Jackson area, they can catch it on JEA, Channel 6, I believe it is. And so the extra point up and good, 31-7, 9:14 left.
This was a very, very close game at the beginning of this game, and it just seems like I really can't say it's been all Clark because the defense has been doing a excellent job.
That was really the first drive here in the second half that the defense really gave up anything. And I know you're making notes for your Coach Burrows show, which airs. What day does that air?
It airs
Justin?
on JEA and on our YouTube channel Tuesday.
On Tuesdays.
Yes.
Okay.
On
So encourage
Tuesdays.
everybody to watch the Coach Burrows show. Look, I mentioned it, and guess what? They put it right up there.
Right
So,
there when we need it,
man,
so everybody can know when to watch.
Man, those are the guys in the production booth downstairs. They're doing a great job keeping us informed of what's going on. And this takes just more than the two of us to do this broadcast.
Yes.
There's probably 15 or so students that are manning cameras and all the different things
Been here since 9 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, a long day for them, and they've got to finish, and so we see this time that Sims, and Sims is going to be taken down at about the 10-yard line, but I think I see a flag over on the far side of the field. If I'm not mistaken, that's a flag.
Don't forget, if you have any questions for Coach Derek Burrows, you can contact us at broadcast@lanecollege.edu or on our social media outlets, on Facebook at Lane College Athletics and on Instagram at Lane Athletics. So that's if you have any questions you want to ask.
Do you not have
Coach.
any questions to ask this week? I mean, you're the host.
we
Host of the show.
We have a segment that we do for audience questions.
Oh, okay. Well, I can
Yeah.
give you about 30 or 40 if you want me to, but I don't have JEA, and I have something I have to do Tuesday night. Matter of fact, the Lane volleyball team, the ladies will be in Henderson, Tennessee, in a match against Freed Hardeman. I'll be there working stats for the Freed Hardeman side of things.
Yeah, they had a good weekend.
And I think
this
I heard somebody say they won a few games this weekend.
And
this is here. We're about football today, but really what we're trying to do is to put everything in action for the Lane College athletic program as Marcus Reynolds with a nice carry gets it out across the 20, so a nice gain for him on first down. He's been a really bright spot to me today in the offense as Ruben goes back out for the Dragons. And another handoff to Reynolds.
Holiday.
Holiday. Reynolds has, let's see, he had 2 interceptions, and also Ruben has 2 interceptions.
All of the interceptions came in the second half.
Well, I was thinking the first one came in the first half.
Did it come in the first half? Because they do 3 in the third quarter.
Yeah, Ruben had one at halftime.
Yeah, 1.5.
He had at the end of the first half down there.
Oh yeah,
And then you've had 3 here in the second half, and those were all in the third quarter. No, one was in the fourth, 2 in the third, and 1 here in the fourth. As the handoff, and now we see a flag, and that's Ruben on the keeper, and he's up across the 25, and he's going to get out to about the 29-yard line, but we have a flag, and it's getting a little chippy out there between these players, and I think it's going to go against Lane for a personal foul or unsportsmanlike conduct or something along those lines, because the flag came after the play was over.
Mental mistakes.
Just a killer. So it's going to be a 14-yard penalty, because it goes half the distance to the goal. So it's going to put the ball at the 14.5-yard line. So now Lane, instead of being 3rd and 2, they are 3rd and 17.
Down bad like this in the fourth quarter, there's mistakes like that do not need to be made. Them are frustration mistakes.
Exactly.
In games like this, you can't show frustration.
You just cannot do that.
You put yourself in a bigger hole than what you're in.
And so Ruben looking to throw, looking. He launches, and almost another pickoff, as that was intended for Amari Hampton. And so now your punt team comes out. And Lane has 2 timeouts left. Clark Atlanta has 3 left. And Clark Atlanta is going to flip the field position for themselves. And they're going to take over in really good field position. Juan Pena is back to punt for the Dragons. He's standing at his own goal line. At the 45 is DeAndre Jackson for Clark Atlanta. Pretty good punt. It's going to hit at the 50. Jackson's going to field it.
Take it.
And he's pretty shifty, and he gets loose. 45. He's at the 40. He's finally tripped up by Micah Grigsby as he falls inside the 40 to about the 38-yard line. And now Clark Atlanta, I don't think you're going to see them throw the ball anymore. I think you're going to see them
all running the
all
clock out.
run to run the clock out. And either force Coach Burrows to take his timeouts or he can just leave them on the board down, 24 points with 7:07 left. I don't think that you're going to make that comeback. Not saying you can't, but don't think it's going to happen today. As McCrary has Langford flanked to his side, handoff to Langford. Langford, he tries to go up the middle, cuts it to the outside, and cuts back in, and he's going to be moving the ball down to the 36-yard line. So you're going to give him a yard and a half, too. We'll say 2 yards on that. Well, make it 2nd and 9. They started at the 37 and ended up at the 36 there. As the clock is ticking down, it is 6 minutes and 17 seconds. Again, another handoff to Langford. This time he gets down to the 35, so give him another yard. Be 3rd and 8.
Once again, this defense has done an excellent job today.
They have. They have.
I can't really say that.
You know, there were a couple of, like you say, that we will say are mental lapses that allowed Clark Atlanta to score a few points. However, most of those times mental lapses came right after the offense had a lapse on an interception or something along that line. So usually after a turnover.
But like the defense gave up 17 points in the first half.
Yep.
They gave up,
and they've given up
1.
7. They've given up 7 points in the second half.
7 points.
So
in the
they've
second
given
half.
up a
That was
total
after 4 interceptions.
Exactly. Yeah.
By the offense of the Dragons.
Clark Atlanta has definitely taken advantage of when Lane has turned the ball over. They've made Lane pay for that, whereas when Clark Atlanta turned the ball over, Lane did not take advantage of either one of those opportunities.
This is going to be a long.
And you just
field
have to,
goal.
you just have to go back and to figure out where it's at and see what you're doing. And it's going to be a 49-yard field goal off the foot of Saldana. Attempt. And it's going to be short. It's going to go out of bounds. It's going to be wide to the right. So Lane will take over with 4:32 left here in the fourth quarter in the football game.
Today's Rockin' Pizza winner is Olivia McDonald. Olivia McDonald. See Josh Lemons in the press box after the game.
See Josh after the game.
And sorry about the wind there. The wind's kind of picking up. Feels kind of good. That
It
breeze feels
does.
pretty
That
good up
breeze
here.
does
Yeah.
feel good. I haven't felt a breeze like that in a long time.
On a day where it's been fairly hot, that breeze picks up. Feels pretty good. As Lane's offense comes out now. 4:32 left. 31-7.
We have our Rockin'
We
Dough
have
Pizza
our
winner.
we have our Rockin' Dough Pizza winner. They give away a free pie every home game as the official sponsor of Lane College Dragons. Rubin back out on the field for the Dragons. Takes the snap, hands off to Holiday. Holiday cuts to the outside, drops back in, still on his feet, crosses the 35, gets out to about the 37-yard line. That's a pretty good run there by Marcus Holiday.
That was 26.
Oh, that was 26?
Thomas Sims.
Oh, that's Thomas Sims. I'm sorry. Well, at this point, I think at this point you let some of your younger kids get in and get a little game experience because you never know when you're going to need them down the road. I just think that that's a pretty
that's
smart.
That's the perfect thing to do right now.
Because you see some of the receivers are different receivers than we've seen all day. And again, he hands it off to Sims. Sims has a first down and more. He's out to the almost to midfield. They're going to mark him at
Flag
the
is-
49.
2 flags are thrown.
Now you point out those gold bottoms on those red cleats. I don't know if I could look at them too much if the sun was shining. It kind of blind us up here. I like them, though. I do like them. And I'm not sure how many of the Dragons have those gold plates on the bottom.
But a lot of them do have them, though.
And so it's going to be a penalty against Clark Atlanta. So it's going to be 15. So that's going to take it down around the 35-yard line. How about the
Let's
36?
see if we can get out of here with a score.
It would be nice to be able to end your day on a positive note and put some points on the board. I would like a touchdown, but at this point, even a field goal would kind of help you out in your mental state. As
Yeah, 'cause
again,
they have moved the ball down on this Panthers defense all day.
and there's Sims, another great run. He's breaking free. He had one man to beat, and he drops the ball, fumble, and Clark Atlanta picks it up and
We have
recovers
a-
the
we have
fumble.
a
Do we have a
Clark-
flag?
We have a Clark player down.
That's number 1.
He's been down twice
That's
today.
twice today. That's Victrum for Clark Atlanta.
The senior linebacker.
And so now Clark Atlanta with 3:25 left, as we see our crowd starting to kind of thin down now a little bit. Clark Atlanta needs to pick up a couple first downs and the clock run, and that'll be the end of this game today. And let's take a timeout and let's thank our sponsors as we go through while this injury, for this injury timeout. We'll be back with more Lane Dragon football. It's 31-7 with 3:25 left in the football game. All right, and we coming back to ready to play as the injured Clark Atlanta player has been carried off the field, and we'll keep him in our thoughts and prayers, hoping it's not a serious injury. As McCrary, he has number 17 in the backfield with him now, and that's Matthew Daniels. And the handoff is to Daniels. He falls forward into lane territory at about the 48-yard line. So we're going to get a pickup of about 5. And it'll be second down and 5 for the Dragons. They're going to give him closer to 6, make it second and 4. And you can see Clark Atlanta Justin just kind of working that clock. Going to let it go all the way down. The play clock's in the end zones down to 10. They're going to work it as much as they can. And nothing doing there. Maybe a yard, so it'll be 3rd and 3.
Daniels is met at the line of scrimmage. Number 34, Edward Curry.
And the ball spotted. And if they get a first down, Lane, not much they can do to stop the clock. No sense in stopping the clock. As the clock will get right at 1 minute left when the snap is made.
They have a lot of mental mistakes they have to clear up going into the next game against Tuskegee.
Oh yeah. And Tuskegee,
because Tuskegee is a big game.
Tuskegee is a big game, and Tuskegee usually is pretty good.
Yeah, you can make the plays that were made today can't be made against Tuskegee. Like
So-
the interceptions. The interceptions.
Well,
we can't.
Did
give
you
up
not say
interceptions
last week? Was it last week that Clark Atlanta played Tuskegee? Was that last week's game?
Yeah.
And Tuskegee won what, 31-21,
30? No, they won 30-16.
30-16.
Yeah.
So that tells you that maybe Tuskegee is a step up. So you're going to have to really make those adjustments.
Well, these key
be-
plays, you gotta minimize your mistakes
Exactly.
against Tuskegee. because they have been in this game all day. Minus the score, they have been in this game all day.
Yes.
A lot of the score, it was 17.
Well, it was 17-7 at the half.
The offense gave up a touchdown off a pick six, and the defense gave up one touchdown after numerous turnovers by the offense.
And so they do get a first down. And so 42 seconds left. Clock running. They're going to go to victory formation. They really need to run one play, and they can let the clock run down to about 10 before they have to snap it. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to run it down to 22, and that's our ball game, folks. They do not have to snap the ball again, as Clark Atlanta is going to defeat the Dragons. The Panthers are going to defeat the Dragons of Lane College today, 31-7, as the clock continues to tick down towards that 0 mark. We want to thank everyone who has made this broadcast possible. We want to especially thank those that are operating our cameras, who are operating the switch equipment downstairs. We want to thank Pam Powers. Is that right? Powers, isn't that right?
Pam Peters.
Pam Peters. I'm sorry, I get it wrong every time. We want to thank her for coordinating and being the instructor and that oversees this program. I thank Justin for being with me as my broadcast partner.
I thank you, Ray.
I'll be back next week. I don't know who's going to be here next week, but somebody will be here in the booth with me next week. It'll be another student as we work together. And our goal is eventually for the broadcast to have students do the whole entire production as far as everything there is to do. And I appreciate the opportunity that's been given to me to be able to help out. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back, and then we'll wrap it up as soon as we get the stats for the final stats, and then we'll say goodbye from Lane Field. So we'll be back in about 2 minutes. All right, as we come back, Justin, I'll take a look at this. I'm going to read the fourth quarter final stats, and you've got fourth quarter stats too. Let's look at this. Lane with 7 points, Clark Atlanta 31. Lane 21 first downs, Clark Atlanta 19. Rushing yards, 38 for Clark
Lights,
Atlanta,
camera, action.
194
Mass
yards.
Communication Department.
Lane, 41 rushes, 215 yards. That's a pretty good day rushing the football.
That is.
And then you come back on the passes. Then you have 11 for 21 for Clark Atlanta with one interception for 377 yards. And then the glaring statistic is that 11 for 23 for Lane with 4 interceptions. Lane, a total of 64 plays for 333 yards. So you're not too far off. They're 44
Right.
yards off. But the difference is
The interceptions.
the difference is the interceptions. Lane time of possession 30 minutes 47 seconds to 29-13 for Clark Atlanta. So you look at these things, and as I look at the rushing leaders for Lane, our leader was Marcus Holiday, 21 rushes, 96 yards, had two yards lost, so he had a net of 94 yards. That's not a bad day for Marcus.
That's a great day compared to the last 2 games. That's a big step up from where he's been for the last 2 games.
And then of course for them, Jawan Leonard or Lankford, he rushed the ball 20 times for 86 yards. He was their leading rusher. But the damage was done really in the passing game by number 9, Rodney Morris. He caught 3 passes for 115 yards.
2 touchdowns.
His long was that 81-yard touchdown pass, and then he caught that one slant across the middle. So, those are some things that the Dragons need to work on. And I'm sure that Coach Burrows will work on that. And I know you'll be getting some information and some questions about what needs to be, maybe some questions to ask him. I know you do the show Tuesday nights, right? Tuesday night?
No, we actually shoot the show on Monday
You'll
nights.
shoot the show tomorrow, or Monday. So you'll need to know questions from folks by tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay.
It'll be great to have them
So
tomorrow.
you go ahead and plug that.
Yes. Once again, if you have any questions, you can contact the Lane College broadcast at broadcast@lanecollege.edu, or you can contact us on all of our social media outlets on Facebook at Lane College Athletics and Lane Athletics on Instagram. Make sure you get those questions. So if you have any questions, we can ask him on Monday night. So you can find out Tuesday on JEA or on YouTube what the answer is to your question.
All right. Well, Justin, I've enjoyed working with you today.
Same to
and
you,
I'm
Ray.
going to sign out of here today. Our final score from Lane Field, Clark Atlanta University Panthers 31, Lane College Dragons 7. We bid you a good day. May God bless, and may he keep you all in his arms.
See ya.
Good job.
Thank you. I'm trying. I'm going to keep trying.
You're doing okay. You just keep working. Just